And now we have someone else on with something fun. Okay, there are a lot of baseball romances out there, okay? We've got Field of Dreams, one of my favorites, Bull Durham. You know, somehow there's just something romantic about baseball. But what's unusual about this is the author, Drew Wathy. Okay, television sportscaster in Flagstaff, San Luis Obispo, a freelance sports feature guy for ESPN, CNN Sports, play-by-play announcer on cable telecast Mesa for the Chicago Cubs. First ever director of communications for the Thunderbirds and the PGA Tour's Phoenix Open. Drew Wathy, great to have you with us.
I had to do something else. This was the last thing I needed to do on my bucket list. So.
We should get like board of sports here. I mean, that is phenomenal. You've got such a, you know, a long resume there of sports, and now you've written what sounds like a baseball romance of sorts, A Season with Hope.
And I've had this story in my mind for about 7 years. I actually dreamt this, Sandy.
Yeah, I know.
Woke up one morning, rushed to my computer, and typed out only about 2 pages. Had to go do family routines, that sort of thing, and then literally, probably this past Thanksgiving, this past November, thought to myself, you know, Drew, you have a really good story. Let's finish it. So literally, I went every morning, didn't check any emails, no personal emails, no business emails. I own my own PR and marketing company. Dedicated myself to write 5 to 7 pages, sometimes 10 a day, finished it in 47 days.
Amazing. And you know, that's what they always say with writing a book. Get in there, get in early, be dedicated, make it like a job instead of like a sometime hobby.
Right,
so,
yeah.
Okay, so A Season with Hope. Give us a short synopsis.
Sure.
What is A Season with Hope?
A Season with Hope is basically a heartwarming love story that uses baseball, if you will, as an aphrodisiac. It's a story about a mother's love for her son, a young man's love for the game of baseball. And it's also a story about an aging baseball scout whose desire to find love and success again, not only in his own baseball world, but off the field as well. They all undergo their own trials and tribulations, and they are all working through their inner demons. Without tipping my hand too much to the story for potential viewers, but you know, it's little plot, little twists and turns in the end, tearjerker for most, I believe. So I really encourage people to download. I think it's a great story. I know I'm a little biased, but I think it's a really good read.
Okay, so what inspired this? This is sounds like a very neat, kind of complicated plot.
Yeah, you know, the cancer rears its ugly head in this story. I'll tell people that much, and I think everyone has had cancer touch their lives in one way or another. Family, unfortunately for myself, my dear wife of 20 years, Dee Dee, who is a fixture in the Phoenix radio community and sales community, passed away from pancreatic cancer about 5.5 years ago. So not necessarily that inspired me for the story. I dreamt this prior to her getting ill. So the story was there. The cancer angle, I think I kind of intertwined that after what I had gone through personally. So,
it's like a subplot in there, sort of.
Yeah, and I just also wanted to mention that a portion of the proceeds from these books would go to benefit cancer research.
Wow, and that is nice.
Yeah.
The fact, so just automatically when someone buys A Season with Hope.
Well, not necessarily, no. Once all the gross sales are in at the end of the year, then I will cut a check to the American Cancer Society.
Because I mean, research ongoing, obviously,
and especially with pancreatic cancer. That Steve Jobs had it, you know, Patrick Swayze had it. It's a death.
We just lost a dear friend 2 weeks ago from pancreatic cancer. It goes fast.
It's on the rise, and as are most cancers, it seems.
Yeah, very devastating. But obviously, you've made romance, you've made love, all kinds of things. Where can people find your book, A Season with Hope?
They can go online. It's on a lot of sites right now. It's on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, Google Play, Apple iBooks, and also KoboBooks.com.
Everywhere. And I love it. Hardback, softbook, all that kind of thing.
Got all the formats.
Where does it take place? Where's it set?
Close to my heart. LA and San Luis Obispo. So, you know, it is totally a fiction story, but there is some truth and some semblance of reality intertwined into the story.
Sure, and I think no matter what you have, whether it's historical fiction or whatever, you have a place and you're familiar with these places.
Oh, absolutely. I love that area so much.
Have you been living there, sportscasting and doing your writing and that kind of thing through the years?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Areas? Yeah, you always have to, you know, almost like once you're on radio and TV, you always like to keep your hands in some way, shape, or form.
I know. It's like what life is after that you don't know. You know what's coming up. So wow, really fun. So they're going to get a kind of an intimate feeling about it. So how about a sequel, A Season with Hope? I don't know if you leave us hanging on this one or not.
You know, I kind of have another idea in mind. It's another sports story. It's about tennis. It's called Fixed. And it's in development right now about pro tennis players on the take and throwing matches for money. So
Wow.
Haven't started it yet. That might be another, I get an epiphany and rush out of bed and write it in 47 days. So that might be
It sounds, I was thinking Woody Allen did a movie, Match Point, as some kind of a tennis involvement. So, okay, well, you were in sports for so long. I mean, do these take real things from your experiences in sportscasting and sports writing?
This story does. Season with Hope, definitely. But the next story, the tennis story, I play a lot of tennis myself and was a pretty good player growing up. But, that's what I'm comfortable with. And I'm able to really parlay a lot of the information that I've gathered over the years and be accurate with the information in the books.
You got it. Well, hey, you've been writing for a long time about sports. You know a lot about the business. You've been in it for a while. And so now we have a fictional book, A Season with Hope, a little baseball romance. Can't wait to read it. Drew Wathy, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Don't you go away. When we come back, we'll be right back on Morning Scramble.